Everyone, it's Beth with Create with Beth, and today I'm going to be playing with the Hello Bluebird set Pumpkin Patch. It's this adorable fall themed stamp set. It is retired, but you may still be able to find it on eBay or other places, and you may even have it in your stash. If you don't have it, you can substitute whatever you do have to create this card. So these images are so adorable. We have a little girl on a pumpkin, some kids with another pumpkin, and another boy with another pumpkin. We have little squirrels and leaves, and it's just so whimsical and fun, and I couldn't wait to play with it. So let me show you some of the other pieces that we're going to be using. We're going to use a card base of crumb cake that measures 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'll set that aside. And then we have an inside panel that is 3 3/4 by 5 of basic white. We have a piece that we're going to be creating a background with that measures 5 1/4 by 4. And then we also have a piece that I cut a frame out of, and what I used was the 6 by 6 paper pad from Cartabella on the farm. I used one of these pieces, and I used the nested stitched shapes from scrapbook.com, the largest one, to create our frame. Then I cut that frame out of some heavyweight white cardstock twice so that we're going to stack these, and that will give us some dimension. So let's go ahead and get started on our background. We're going to be using some Distress Oxides in Faded Jeans first to create our sky. And I'm just going to come off from the side here, and we want this to be kind of a fall themed sky, so it's not going to be super bright blue. Just go in from the sides. I want it to be darker at the top and the sides and fade out to a lighter blue in the center. This is pretty much like we did on one of our previous cards. I don't have a lot of Distress Oxide colors, unfortunately, at the moment, so I have to use what I have. Okay, so we are going to fade on down to the ground. Whoops. And smooth this out a little bit. I think that's good. So we'll put the Faded Jeans aside. And then we're going to bring in Shabby Shutters and create a ground. It's not very fall-like here today. We have been averaging in the 80s right now, so I don't know where fall is, but it's not here yet. Not really. There we go. That looks pretty good. We're going to go with that. So we'll put this aside. We'll get rid of this messy paper. And then I'll clean my brush off a little bit. And then we'll move on to our next step. Okay, I'm going to let this dry for a little bit before we mess with it. We're going to go ahead and put this frame together, and I'll use some liquid glue for that. There we go. Just stack them up together. I need to get some different frame dies to use. I do love to use them, but this is one of the only ones I have. So I need to build up my stash a little bit more. There we go. And then we'll tuck this, whoops, on here. Okay, that's pretty good. We'll let that dry for a minute and we'll go ahead and work on the inside of our card. And I think I want to bring in some more of this pad. And I'm trying to think if I have, let me look at my scraps here. I would like, yep, I do. I do have some of that blue. I save all of my scraps. Oh no, I guess I don't have that blue. Okay, I was going to try to recreate this color, but I don't have that color, but we have this one, so I think we'll go with this one. I want to add this to the inside of my card. So we'll bring in the guillotine trimmer and just cut a strip of this pattern that we can use on the inside of the card to bring that color in. Get rid of this little bit here. There we go. Okay, we're going to go ahead and adhere this strip to the bottom of our inside panel here. It's not the exact same pattern, but it's close enough. And where did I put my scissors? Oh dear. Well, we'll bring in a different pair. I've misplaced them somewhere. I've only got about 15 pairs of scissors in my craft room. Okay, that looks good. And now we will bring our stamp set in, and I think I'm going to use the sentiment "So Thankful for You." It's a teeny tiny stamp with tiny font, but it will work. Okay, let me get a block out. And do we want to do this in a color? Excuse me. I think I'm going to use the faded jeans. Let's see how that works. See how it looks. I haven't used this yet, so I'm going to condition it by rubbing it on the inside of my wrist. And I want to, oh, it looks pretty good. I wanted to experiment with that for a second. So we're going to come in here and So Thankful for You. Oh, I love that. That looks really good. Okay, there is that. And bring in my cloth and clean my stamp off. Okay, so we did that one, and now we're going to build our scene. So I have gone ahead and colored the images and cut them out because otherwise it would take me forever to get them all done. And what I did is I colored them with my Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers, and I wanted to show those to you because they're so cool. I just got them, and if you're not familiar with them or the concept, basically this is 3 markers in one. This one is Burnt Orange Blend. It's B01, B03, and B04. These are alcohol markers. And so you have all 3 of your blends in one marker, which is really convenient. It has a hexagon barrel, which is awesome to hold. It's super comfortable. So you have your light on one end, you have your medium in the center, and then you have your dark on the end. And the way you color with them is you go over the image first with the light, with a wash, then you go back with your dark and fill in your shadows, and then you blend those out with the medium, and finally you go back to the light and blend it all in together. And they really, really come out good. I really like the quality of the marker and the results that I got. So there is that. Let's bring in our background, and we're going to try to create a little scene here. And I think I've got a lot of images here and not a super big amount of space, but I'm going to try to use them all. So I think we're going to do something like this. And we have another little pumpkin, and let's see. I think we'll go kind of like that. And we have a squirrel here. And then we'll just put our leaves all around. But first, before we do that, I think we're going to do our sentiment. And for that, I think we'll go ahead and do some embossing. So I need to bring in my Versamark and my white embossing powder. We're going to put our sentiment right up here in the right hand corner. So we'll go ahead and treat that with my anti-static tool to get rid of any static or anything that would cause the image, the embossing powder, to stick to places where we don't want it to. We're going to use the Hello Fall emboss or stamp and mount that. There we go. Bring in our embossing powder. Looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to have to go off camera for a minute to emboss, and I will be right back. Okay, there is our embossed image. So we can go ahead and start putting our scene together. I'm actually going to go ahead and mount this onto our background before we, our card base, before we start. I'm going to use liquid glue because it's a little bit warped from the ink blending and the embossing, and this will help hold it down a little bit better than tape runner would. There we go. Get that embossing powder off. Okay, so let's bring our images back in and we will start to mount them. So I'm going to put these guys down flush with the paper. Right about there. And then we're going to bring this little guy in and put him flush. Just like so. And then I'm going to bring her in. I'm going to pop her up with dimensionals, so she's kind of in the forefront. Okay. So right about like that. And then we have our little squirrels. Do we want to pop him up? Oh, you know what? I need to add a little bit more glue here. I'm trying to decide if I want to give our squirrel some dimension. I think maybe I do. We'll pop him up right about like that. And then we have another pumpkin to put in place. Stick that there. This is so cute. I love this set. Getting low on the glue. And we'll put this squirrel right here. We have a squirrel that comes and sits outside on our porch and looks into the house. He's so cute, and our cats just go absolutely bonkers trying to get that squirrel. Is so funny. Okay, so next I have these leaves, and we're just going to kind of scatter them across the sky. And I thought I had more than 3 leaves, but I'm only seeing 3. Just like that. And then I have a little acorn that I think we're going to stick down here. There we go. And I don't know if I'm going to do any other embellishing to this. I think it looks really cute the way it is. So let's go ahead and put our frame on. Mount that just like that. I really like the blue with the craft. That looks really good. We're going to have to hold that down for a minute to get that glue to grab because it's having to go through some layers here. And it's not going to want to stick. So we'll just press that down. And I am loving this card, you guys. I think that's so cute. That scene fits perfectly. It's a lot of images in one card, but I think it goes really good together with all the kids and their pumpkins. Oops, we forgot to add the inside piece. I thought we had already added that, but we didn't. So we'll finish it off with the inside piece. And there you go. That is our card for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it provided you with some inspiration to try this design for yourself. Thanks so much for stopping by. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye.